Okay, picture this. You play hoi4 Germany for 1200 hours. And you're starting to wonder, what if Germany didn't have to be the bad guys? What if the German Reich was Ben Shapiro approved? What if the English are hiding Polish Hamas fighters under their buildings? These are very important questions we need to ask ourselves when we play hoi4. And we can't answer them as Germany, but we can answer them as... So I took the chosen people from this desolate, cramped land and built a nation for them in a land no one else lives in. After spamming some troops, doing research, setting up the production line, building some cities, and asking for Western aid, I gotta wait the 70 days of mandatory waiting period for the 4-year plan focus and the Rhineland focus. Then I recruit only the finest lobbyists to procure me even more economic stimulation. I will use these investments for only the most peaceful, civilian, defensive purposes, but mostly because I need guns to pump out units and also to defend against Austria. Speaking of Austria, I'm going to do the Anschluss now because Austria is going to give me a huge economic boost and manpower for later on. And wait. Is that Israeli unemployed guy Elon Levy?
Hey.
Hello, guy. I should say I'm doing Anschluss because Austria is the promised land and not because I want to get rich.
Hey, Technologia.
Okay, and they're attacking us because they're anti-Semitic.
Technologia.
Okay,
Technologia.
you got it. Anyways, now that we have successfully defended ourselves against those anti-Semitic Austrians who want independence, we can now move on to the next Hamas base in Czechia and Poland. But in order to continue with the defense, I need to pump out even more troops. And these Westerners are being anti-Semitic and not giving me free money. So I have to wait a little before I can defend Czechia from their government. Czechia is an Islamic country that hates our freedoms and we need to free them. So I have a solution, a two-state solution. And as for Poland, they don't want us to defend them, and the world hates us due to their anti-Semitism. So we have to do a special military operation in Poland and get our hostages back. I have built up my military to the point where I can actually start the war. This is not historical, since I'm not getting free guns from the West to defend myself, but that should not be an issue since I have a proper air force and the proper army. I won't lie, I will just slam my head into the line until Poland falls. I do not care to micro at this point in time. I don't have the tanks yet because I butterfingered my production. Anyways, we are receiving reports of Poland terror babies rejecting a peace plan to give us Judea and Samaria. In order to defend ourselves, we need to send in our brave soldiers to defend the only Jewish state. Poland, as always, is not a big obstacle. My main short-term goal right now is to cap France. I need to destroy those anti-Semitic Ayatollahs in France so they don't do any more anti-Semitic things, like self-defense. Now that Poland is finished, I need to have air superiority, which is not hard considering how I have the best planes one can have in vanilla, which you can find on my TikTok page if you want those templates and all the other templates I use in the video. Anyways, France. I'm paratrooping into France because I want to paratroop into the UK. So I might as well do both with the same method. But the Allies somehow have a metric ton of planes. They pull out of somewhere. Bro, I'm Israel. I'm the one who's supposed to have infinite funding. What's happening? Anyways, once the fucking bottomless pit of Allied planes has emptied out, I can finally legally buy land in France and make sure only we work there. Okay, so Austria, Czechia, Poland, and France are no longer Hamas. The lowlands are not an issue either. The main demon in this run is the United Kingdom. But before I deal with them, I have to mention that it took me 7 attempts to naval invade the UK. I was ripping my hair out trying to pull this off. My usual strategies were not working. I had to come up with a new bulletproof strategy to actually actually defend against the UK. First off, arrest terror babies in the lowlands. Second, build a beefy paratrooper division. Third, drop it on the UK. Once a port is secured, it's over. I can just send in my tanks and they're finished because they cannot push my tanks. They're too good. You can find it on my TikTok. Now that we are taking a rightful promised land that God gave to us, the chosen people, from those terror-loving, evil English people, can now defend ourselves against any group they might support, like Hezbollah and the Houthis. I need to declare a preemptive defensive war on these states to get them in the peace deal.
Critics of the Jewish state would say you guys started this war by attacking Iran about 48 hours ago.
No, we did not start.
Also, just look at these Merkava tanks, bro. My tank crews are well fed, you just can't tell. It's why I can literally roll over the English with zero effort. Or in Hebrew it would be, these Hamas terror fighters are unable to kill our brave soldiers. They also try to naval invade from behind, which is pretty funny. But then again, tanks. I have them, they do not. When they are just ripe enough to give up, I just declare war on... I declare defense on every single country that I haven't declared on yet. It's amazing. It's like getting free money and weapons from a foreign government. But even better, because it's our promised land. Once the war is over, I will just I will return everything to its rightful owner, myself. Anyways, this is the map after the peace deal. Subscribe, leave a like. If you do both, you will get a 100% chance of getting an Israeli woman to your door who wants you and only you. Subscribe.